Welcome to another episode of the Book Fix podcast, a podcast that fixes lives one book at a time. I'm your host, Yajaira.
And I'm your host, Cheli. Happy spooky season. Happy October.
Happy October, guys. If you're watching us, I know you can't really tell what's behind us, but I swear they're ghosts.
Let me color swatch it.
Do you see his eyes? They're ghosts.
It's a ghost.
We have ghost lights behind us, but like from the distance, they just kind of look like white lights.
Don't be worried. They're not real ghosts. I swear. Okay.
They're not paid actors, I promise.
So I have a little book tea
before
we start. And we talked about it in the car on our way to buy juice.
Juice.
So there's this one book talker. Her name is Callie Reads, and she's pretty big on Book Talk. She has around 300,000 subscribers, and she's very active on TikTok. So
Just Book Talk?
Yes.
Okay.
So the issue is that apparently she had a book wish list open on, like, you can access it through her TikTok, and a lot of fans were buying her books because they like when she talks about it and they like her. But she recently made a post about books that she didn't like, and supposedly, I didn't see the video, but she also wrote yuck.
So books I don't like, yuck. Okay.
So some of the books that were on there were books that her fans had bought her. So one person reached out and was like, hey, I bought you that book.
Ooh,
why are you not going to read it? And she responded in a way where it makes it seem that she's trying to guilt trip other people. Like, she's not taking any accountability for what she did and is more so just going well, you're the one who bought it. You know? I'm not going to read it. I'm sorry to this one specific person, but yeah.
But was it multiple books that people purchased for her that she said, no, I'm not reading that? Or was it just
I'm not sure
one?
if it was multiple. I think it was multiple.
Okay.
But she only apologized to one person, to the person who
was upset about it.
Yeah.
Okay. You did bring up a good point to me, though, when we were talking about it. We didn't talk about it that much. It was just a little bit. Where you said that it's kind of like when you buy someone a gift. It's not like you're expecting them to use the gift. It's a gift. If you use it, great. If you don't, you don't. And sometimes gifts are regifted. It just happens.
Yeah, it does just happen. Also, it's not your responsibility to buy a stranger a gift. If you do it, fine. You're doing it because you're supporting them. But whatever they do with that gift, I don't think it's your obligation to know, and also it's not your right to know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It
does kind of suck though, because if their wish list, I haven't seen this, so I have no idea. If their wish list is specifically if you're interested in hearing my reviews, buy me the book then. You know what I mean? If that's what it's geared to, I would understand why someone would be upset. But if it's more so just books that seem interesting, don't know if I'm going to review it though. Well, then
she made a comment that was I'll never read a book if it's more than 200 pages. And she had books on there that were more than 200 pages. And she was like, I'm not going to read it. It's long.
Oh, okay. Well, see, that's weird. That's weird though.
That is weird. But
I mean, I don't know. Maybe she's being sarcastic. I'm not sure.
But then again, I do want to say this, and I want to kind of add to the book talk book talk drama that we talked about last time with Nate, the guy who was like, I'm going to read women authors.
Yeah, because I noticed that I never do.
I know. We don't know the whole story, because I learned more about that Nate one today, in which he said he was going to read one different woman author a day until his book came out.
That's weird.
That's weird. I didn't know that part of the story. I do need to hear the whole thing. It's kind of hard, though, because I don't know if you see the same thing, but anytime book tea comes out, it's always like, oh my gosh, guys, can you believe it? That's crazy, right? And it's okay, what happened? He didn't say anything. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
So it's hard to form an opinion when you don't have the full story. But from what we heard, I don't think Callie Reads, I don't know, I wouldn't cancel her.
No,
but at the same time, she just needs to know that if she's reading books and she's doing it she's an influencer, if she's doing it for views, you're gonna end up reading books more than 200 pages. There's not a perfect world. Most books are up to 300 to 400 pages.
You're lucky if it's that much.
And she loves romance.
Oh,
so it's really, you're gonna find one that's 200 pages. You're gonna be reading novellas. You're not gonna.
Yeah.
No. But yeah.
I mean, some books are really fucking long.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, how would you feel if you were in that situation? Not that we have a wish list, but if we did have a wish list and somebody bought you a book and they kind of reached out to you and were like, hey,
I don't think I would.
Bought you that book. Where's the review at?
I do want to say I wouldn't want to have a wish list until I know that I can dedicate my time to it, because I would feel bad.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to put up my like TBR, because most of the books on my TBR, I'll be honest, I don't remember what I have on there.
Yeah, same.
It's so long that sometimes I look at one and I was like, wow, that looks good. I want to put it on my TBR. And it's already in there.
Dude, I've done that so many times where I'm like, damn, that sounds so juicy.
So I think personally, I would never ask someone that doesn't know me in my real life to buy me a book. You know,
you barely asked me to buy you any books.
Yeah, because we buy our own books. Because then the book you're going to buy me, I'm going to eventually buy for you too.
Yeah. So then, yeah.
Yep.
But I am interested to see like what else Callie reads, says. I'm curious.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Just want to make a little comment before we start. In these next few episodes, maybe 4 or 5, we are going to be drunk.
Oh, dude, it's been a minute.
It's been a minute since we drank, but it's a day where we don't work tomorrow, and I feel like it's needed. But I feel like every time we drink on the podcast,
we always talk about scary things. Well, I think the last time it wasn't necessarily scary, but we got freaked out over it.
And it's funny too, because we don't need to say when we're freaked out. We just have to say a sentence, and both of us are like, wait.
Can you stop? Because I'm scared.
So try to name the minute where we freak out.
Yeah, hear it in our voices.
So I am super excited to talk to you today, because we are going to be talking about a book written by
V. Castro.
V. Castro. I know it was Hispanic Heritage Month, and we're totally doing this in October, but we tried to include a lot of Hispanic or Latina authors, only because, you know, we want to try to get as many different authors as possible, because I feel like when talking about horror, people are most likely going to go towards Stephen King or Nick Cutter.
Yeah.
You know?
And then also, I mean, I would love for us to just find more diverse books. I love the posts that I see on Instagram Reels where it's like diverse horror books or stuff like that.
So we are reading a book by V. Castro called Queen of the Cicadas, La Reina de las Chicharras. Oh, by the way, we're both Mexican.
Queen.
We're both Mexican.
Oh my God, did you hear that R?
Chicharras.
Chicharras.
I can't roll my R's. I can only roll it for a second, because you can hold it for longer, right?
No. Well,
how long can you hold it for?
I don't want to do this.
Because I can only do.
No, I'm nervous.
I can only do. That's it. I can only do for that long.
I can only do. I have to say a word though.
Okay, wait, hold on. Dog.
Huh?
Dog.
Oh, perro. I can't do it.
Oh my God, we're the same.
Perro.
Whoa, that was pretty good, because mine is only like perro. That's as long
you
as
can't go any longer.
It was funny because there was this one time I was driving with my mom. She was driving. I was 6. But she... I don't know why I had to clarify that. Okay.
Wait, hold on. That was so funny.
I don't know why I had to clarify that. Okay.
Oh my God.
There was this one time my mom was driving me somewhere.
Oh my God, I'm crying.
And as a 6-year-old, she was all talking about something like, oh my gosh, your tia did this, your tío did that, whatever. Driving while like a fucking chihuahua was in the middle of the street. And I was like, pero. You know? And that means but.
Yeah.
So then she was like, no, yeah, your tia did this. And I'm like, pero. It's like, yeah, I said your... And I was like, Mom, there's a dog! And it's just like...
She starts swerving.
I
Your
can't
mom
roll my
didn't see
R's. No.
Oh my God.
My
Pero.
beautiful mother. No.
Yeah, so pero would be but perro is dog.
I've gotten better at it, but I might struggle in this episode.
Why?
It's just my Spanish. I'm a no sabo kid.
No
I
sabo?
really am. I used to think for the longest... It's going to become a bilingual Duolingo episode. I used to think.
I wish we were sponsored by Duolingo.
I really do too.
Or the other one. Sponsor
Duolingo.
us, and I'll say it, and I'll say the name.
Maybe. Sponsor it, and I'll think about it.
Duolingo is gonna be bleeped out.
It's a bad
We
word.
can't say that word.
You can't say Duolingo in the first 2 minutes of your episode or else you'll get demonetized. Okay, let's go ahead and start talking about this book. I'm going to try to give a spoiler-free summary.
Okay, go ahead.
So if I miss anything, let me know.
Okay.
This story centers around our main character, Belinda, who is visiting her friend Veronica at this... It's in a state in California. No, it's in a state in Texas.
In Texas, yes.
For a wedding. But it turns out there is a story connected to this estate that centers around Milagros Santos, who was a woman that back then went through an injustice and decided to seek revenge after death. Work.
That was a really good summary.
Thank you. I really like her last name, Santos.
Santos is a good last
and
name.
her first name?
I'm going to switch my last name.
Thank you.
Should we switch our last names?
Yeah, my last name, Book Fix.
It's going to be Book Santos.
Amen.
Book Angels?
That's really cute. Oh, well, okay. We'll get into the names later because we have a lot to talk about. But I just finished reading this today. When did you finish reading it?
God, it's been a minute.
It's been a minute?
It's been a minute, yeah.
Okay. So I don't know how you feel about it at all.
Okay.
So I'm going to guess.
Per usual.
Yeah, I'm going to guess that if you were going to rate this out of 5 using the story graph rating system that lets you do quarter ratings,
Okay.
you would probably give this a 4.75.
Okay.
Not a perfect 5 because it wouldn't be on your book reads of the years, but I think you really like this one.
Okay. I'm also guessing high for you, but not that high. So a 4. Solid 4.
Okay. So why don't we just get into it, because this is a long, well, it's not a long book, but it's a dense book.
It's dense because it's split into 3 different timelines. So you have the current time, which is our main character, 40? Belinda. And like Cheli said, she's going to this wedding. And then you have the timeline of Belinda when she was younger and how she heard about this urban legend in the beginning.
Yep.
And then you have Milagros' timeline of what happened to her.
What the urban legend is.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so why don't we talk about how this story starts, which in chapter 1, it starts in Belinda's point of view. She is going to Veronica's wedding, and she's kind of a little bit of an author, which is from what I remember, is only mentioned on the first page of this book and never again.
Yeah. Honestly, I forgot she was an author.
She's over here writing like poetic shit and then burn that book later. Like she never writes again, but she's a very depressed individual.
I think the reason why it's important is to show that she's interested in, I guess, history or like stories. So that's why she gets so interested in this urban legend.
But also she gets interested in this because, as you can see at the beginning of the story, she is not married anymore. 2 divorces. She has 1 son who for a very long period of time, and at this point, really dislikes her.
Yeah, and has been living with the dad.
And she just has like very low self-esteem, doesn't view herself as important, and is just kind of roaming, you know, like she's going to this wedding, but to me it felt like she didn't really want to go. Like she's just going. And it's in Texas in this really pretty estate. She shows up and is ready to fucking sleep with someone. Like she sees a guy and she's like,
that one right there.
sir,
Tonight.
I'll have what he's having.
Yeah.
So it automatically starts off like that. And she crashes into a guy named Hector who is reading The Shining.
She's like, wow, good choice.
Oh my God.
Wait.
So
Have you read Carrie though? Have you read it though?
It's funny because I've never seen or read The Shining. I know which one it is. But seeing that, it seemed like she also didn't know what it was.
Right? Like,
So
it felt
it's
very
kinda
disconnected.
Like, oh, yeah, The Shining. I really like that part where, like, something's shining.
Where he, like, sticks his head through the door. Yeah. Love that part.
And when he was like, oh, yeah, I love scary stuff. And she was like, yeah, well, where's the last haunted place you've been to? And he's like, don't you see where we're at? I would have been like,
trick question.
No, yeah, I was just testing you to see if you know where we were at. And I'm going to wait for you to answer because obviously.
But just to keep this going. What do you mean? What do you mean it's haunted?
So it turns out, I know. Like, should I be worried? Like, should I go? But so basically where they're staying at that estate, it is where La Reina de las Chicharras passed away. Mm-hmm. And that means the queen of the cicadas.
Yeah.
So
which immediately Hector tells her, you know, everyone talks about La Llorona, but La Reina de las Chicharras is worse, scarier. Mm-hmm. She's La Llorona times 20.
But then Belinda knows who he's talking about. Mm-hmm. So then we're taken to a chapter.
Doesn't it take her a second, though? She's like, oh, my God, wait, that sounds really familiar.
So he basically says, like, yeah, just never say her title and then chicharras three times.
Chicharras. La
so
Reina de las Chicharras.
Yeah, she takes out her little makeup thing, right? With
like
a mirror.
Her little mirror, yeah.
La Reina de las Chicharras.
She's like, you know what?
Chicharras.
She's like, you know what, bitch? I'm bored.
Yeah.
So I will. Oh, yeah. And she's compared to the Bloody Mary because, you know, you do that in the mirror. There's mirrors here, so I'm not going to say it too many times.
I know. La Reina.
We're just looking at the mirror like... If I say only half of her name, does she like back away? She's like almost at the mirror.
I got you.
Oh my God. Okay, anyway, sorry, keep going. So we're taken to
chapter where it's now in the past, where Belinda first hears this story from Veronica's grandma, because at a sleepover they're basically talking about what's something that scares you the most, and everyone says their own fears. Someone says rats. Bitch.
Somebody says sharks.
Okay.
Stay out of the water then.
Someone says hunger. No, just kidding.
Wait, that's actually a good one.
No, that's a really good one.
Like, if someone would have said like loneliness, I would have been like, damn.
Someone said that. She did.
Oh, she did? Oh, she did say that, huh?
Bitch. Maybe be with people. And then someone says death. Like, okay.
Boring.
I know. We're just roasting all these. The grandma's like, stupid, bitch.
Lame.
Ugly.
Do you even know life?
But she basically says, like, everything you just said, the story that I'm about to tell you is way worse than that.
Worse than sharks, if you could believe it.
Yeah. So she starts telling the story of a field worker by the name of Milagros Santos. And she basically works in Texas. She came from Mexico to live the American dream. But this is back in the 1950s. And it is like peak like racism. Like, it's so bad.
Yeah.
So we immediately see Milagros, who is working. Is it Milagro or Milagros?
Milagros with an S.
So we see that Milagros does not have a really like good
She doesn't have a good time here.
No, because the guy who's in charge of the farm that they're at, his name is Billy. Dude, he's so disgusting.
And it immediately starts off disgusting because he's like checking her out and he's like, man, you look really good sweating.
Dude, I don't know about you, but this story was very triggering in ways that I forgot triggered me. Because I haven't seen my family in a very long time, but a lot of my family's field workers, and I've heard these stories before. Yeah. And I'm like, oh God, I forget that there's people like that. So she basically
it sucks because she tries to just like live in peace during this time. So even though Billy is making these advances to her, she knows that she can't be too strong or else she's, you know, in jeopardy of losing this opportunity because all of the money that she makes, she's been sending to her family. And so also she doesn't really speak English. No. So she'll kind of be like, gracias por mi trabajo, señor. Like, thank you for my job, sir. And that's kind of just it.
That makes me feel so bad because she's over here trying her best to get through it. And then the farm owner's wife is giving her so much shit. So her name is Tanya. And while this man is trying to make advances towards Milagros, she's just like, nope. She's thinking in her head, disgusting ass bitch.
Yeah, but she's being polite.
Yeah, she is.
which is good. But
And
obviously, if Tanya sees her from a distance, she's like, "Oh, that bitch."
Tanya's just super overly jealous.
Yeah.
So she goes up to Milagros and is like, "Why are you trying to take my man?" Tanya says that.
But Tanya is very insecure because
Yeah.
Billy just frequently flirts with everyone. So obviously, he's cheated on her many times, and she's just like, I guess not. I don't know if panicking would be the right word, but she's just overreacting, I guess.
We see Milagros and her living situation on this farm because this farm prided itself for giving housing to the workers.
Oh my God.
Which is a very common thing.
With like
for
contract workers too.
Yep. So the living situations is basically like a long trailer, and the trailer is filled with a bunch of beds that are all next to each other.
Like bunk beds.
And just communal bathrooms, communal showers, and that's it. And it's so disgusting and bad to the point where most people just sleep outside.
Yeah.
And Milagros even mentions that once she went into the horse stall and noticed that it was nicer than where she was living at.
Which is so fucked up because honestly, it just shows that they don't see these people as humans. Like, they mistreat them so fucking badly.
She lives in these horrible, like, living situations, but she's over here trying to make money. She's trying to make ends meet. And the next day when she's going outside to wake up to basically wait for work, because when farm workers or field workers are finding a job, they basically stand in a corner and wait for the farm owner to pick them up. So that's what she's going to do. And while she's waiting, Tanya ends up coming, which is the wife of Billy, and calls her a really horrible slur. I'm going to spell it. I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
It's SPIC, which is a very bad slur towards anyone in like Hispanic countries, mostly Central America and Mexico. So it's bad.
Yeah.
And basically calls her a bitch because she's trying to get with her man. And I think that's kind of where they leave it at. They like kick her to the floor, but Milagros promises herself that she won't cry, because why would she cry if no one in this situation would cry for her?
Yeah.
And that's so fucked up. Oh gosh. Dude, this story made me angry in so many ways, because I was thinking of the tier list that we just did, where one of the things was like, oh, 1990s sexism.
Yeah.
So this is very much 1950s racism. And it's really hard to read because of how like true it is and how like true it still is.
Yeah.
You know, so there was parts where Billy and Tanya, when they would talk, I would be like, I want to find redeeming qualities in you, but people are just like this sometimes. And there's not much you can do to change people like this. So Milagros just lives like this.
Yeah, I mean, she has to. This is her situation now. And at this point, do we find out why she had to leave home? Because she was originally from, I forgot where. Somewhere in Mexico. But she reveals to a friend that she makes, I think her name was Guadalupe. She reveals to her that basically she had to leave her home and that she has a twin at her home. But she had to leave because of a situation that happened with a guy. So she keeps it very vague.
She says that she doesn't want to stay any longer because Billy is making her life hell.
Yeah, and Tanya is too. And also, Tanya has friends who just kind of like follow her around like little minions. So it's just like a very hostile place.
So Milagros basically brings up that she heard about this guy named Cesar in California who's fighting for la causa, the cause.
Yeah.
So she wants to go to California and see what this is all about.
And Guadalupe is like, oh my God, that's amazing, because I also wanted to go. And I think her brothers worked there as well, if I remember correctly. But she had a brother too, no? A brother and a dad?
Oh, yes.
So she has a brother and a dad who work with her. And they all wanted to leave as well. So Milagros had this idea like, okay, you know what? I'm only going to deal with this injustice for a day more, and then I'm leaving.
So she writes a letter to her sister Concepcion.
Her twin.
Yes, and it says, "Dearest sister, life is no longer worth living if I have no prospect of living freely. I want to be free from abuse, free from fear, and a little freedom to be happy. Is that not why I left in the first place? The dark nature of men's hearts has no border, and God seems to have no heart or ears. I am happy I have you to write to because you were always there for me, unlike the silent God who never seems to hear our prayers. When I seek hope, he rewards me with indifference. This is clear to me now. If I stay here, I will surely die. I have made the decision to leave this place and travel to California. I hear there is a man named Cesar. I want to find his farm to join the fight. He is not a healer the way we define it, but it sounds like he is healing our people by making them stronger, their voices louder. I will leave in 1 week. As soon as I am settled, I will let you know where I am. Any news of Mariposa, Mama, and Papa? Take care of yourself and know I love you. Your loving sister, Milagros." Oh, God.
I felt so bad because listening to that letter, I really did think that she would at least get to send it out.
Yeah, I did too. But this chapter, I believe, ends with, oh, it wasn't this one. There was one that was like, she didn't even make it past the exit of this area
Yeah.
because of how shitty it was.
Mm-hmm.
So Milagros basically, that the day after, or the day she was going to leave,
Mm-hmm.
Tanya and her little minions basically approached her,
Mm-hmm.
tied her up in a tree,
Mm-hmm.
threatened her by accusing her of trying to steal Billy, and just started throwing bugs at her
Yeah.
that were biting Milagros all over. And then
It's
Tanya
like, it was brutal though because she had like a whole bucket full.
Yeah.
She just like dumped it all over her.
and then got a lot of cicada shells and put it down Milagros' mouth while putting a belt to kind of close
Her throat.
her throat.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And it was really sad because just the way that Milagros was describing how she was feeling, like, that is so fucked up. Like, they were so brutal about it. And they didn't give a fuck. And I think it was only one of them. I can't remember how many there were in total. Was it 3 or 4?
It was 4, and only Tiffany, a friend of theirs, was the only one that was like, we need to stop.
Yeah, like she told Tanya, like, maybe you're going a little too far. And then Tanya said something like, oh, do you want the same treatment?
Like, you're cheating on your husband. I can obviously tell him right now, or you could let me finish.
Yeah, so Tiffany just ends up leaving, but she didn't do anything to stop it. So she was aware that this happened.
Okay, so gonna go back to the present. So Belinda, the one who is hearing this story, is at this wedding, meeting this dude named Hector, and just completely like, I need to know more. She, oh my gosh, I can only think of the Spanish word, averiguar.
She tries to figure out.
Yeah, so she kind of goes around and tries to figure out more information about Milagros. And they basically tell her, like, there's someone in Mexico that has, like, a box of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she hears it from a preacher. His name is Preacher Rich.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, who basically is like, oh, yeah, this... that actually happened. The person who did it was Tanya, and she's actually still alive. I pray to her every single day, hoping that she repents.
Oh, and then he brings up that La Reina de las Chicharas has a lot of victims. I remember reading that there were so many people who fell victim to her, but one of them is still alive, like Cheli said. And she's like, what, 80 now?
Yep. So they hear that there's a box of stuff. I think he gives them the box of stuff. Okay. And they're basically like, we need to know more about this. So we're going to go ahead and go to Mexico and try to find the twin sister Concepcion to get more information. Yeah. So it's funny because Hector is someone that Belinda just met, and she's just like, I want to travel the world with you.
Yeah, like they just kind of had that bond immediately.
Which is really sweet because remember, Belinda, in the beginning of the story, she has no one that's close to her anymore. She's not even close to her own son at this point.
Yeah.
So it means a lot to her that when she's like, okay, I'm going to go to Mexico, Hector's like,
you mean we?
Invite maybe?
You know what? I was really bored here.
I get a lot of FOMO, so it's really messed up if you went without me.
Yeah.
So they go together. After Milagros dies, there is a
There's
journalist who comes, and the police basically tell him, just say it was a farm worker, and he says it in a Mexican who really liked her, and it didn't turn out well, and that's the reason she was killed. And then the guy
they try to cover it up pretty much.
And even the journalist was like, really, that happened? It's like, no, that's the story you're going with.
Yeah.
So he says it in a way like, I'm trying to cover something else up. And so the journalist is like, all right, takes a picture of Milagros and leaves. So, and it was a horrible sight. Like, it's basically her still hanging, mouth wide open with cicada shells still in her mouth. Like, it's really, really bad. But he goes home and, like, in the middle of writing this paper, and I might be saying this out of order, he hears, like, a voice that says, feed her. And then all of a sudden in his mind, he's like, oh my gosh, la reina de las chicharras. Like, yes. And then he calls, like, where he works and is like, don't publish the article I just sent you.
Yeah.
So that's where it ends with him. But
why didn't he want to publish it again?
Because he knew the truth now. Like,
but wasn't it too late at that point?
It was too late because I think they published, like, they didn't publish the article, but they published, like, missing persons. And I think they used the picture of her dead body.
Yeah, they did. I remember that.
That's so fucked up.
They didn't give a fuck then.
No, they didn't. That's so insensitive. So
that's why she came back, pretty much.
Angry. She's angry.
She's angry.
So she is back. And the way we know this is because she's seeking vengeance, and she seeks it on the group of friends that hurt her, like those people. So the first victim is Tiffany. And Tiffany was the one girl in the group who did not want to stay and continue what they were doing.
Right.
And she's the one who's cheating on her husband and everything. And her death is so, like, because all of these deaths are, they get hurt due to something around them that hurts them. And then it always ends with a bug leaving.
Yeah.
So with Tiffany,
so you know,
I think she, like, she put her shoe in her sandal, and in that sandal there was, like, a spider. And so she, like, moved her leg out of the way. She twisted her arm to kind of, like, catch herself, but ended up hitting her head on a table and just fell to the floor as you see this spider, like, walk away. And she said that she felt herself, like, blood bubbling in her throat. And the last thing she thought of was the feeling of choking that Milagros probably felt. But in her head, she thought that Mexican girl probably felt, because they didn't even bother to learn her name at this point.
No.
So,
which is so fucked up.
Tiffany, dead.
Tiffany's gone.
And it sucks because at Tiffany's funeral, although everyone is kind of freaking out, Tanya, who is the main stupid bitch, is like, oh my gosh, I'm kind of glad she's dead, because she was the one that would have squealed.
God, yeah, I forgot about that. She was like, oh, thank God, one less person who knows the truth.
Yeah. Oh, that's so disgusting. I hated Tanya.
I hated her too. There was nothing redeeming about her. Like, she was just a fucking hateful bitch. And then also something else to note, Milagros constantly mentioned that she had a darker complexion. So that was just another reason why they were so fucking hateful towards her.
We basically finished Belinda's, like, flashback story. It was just the grandma who was telling them this urban legend, and this is the urban legend. What? Oh, because I didn't want to highlight one line at a time, so I just
oh my God, you just scratched off a whole paragraph.
You guys want to see how I take notes? This is very chaotic. I wouldn't do this in a real book, but it's because I don't want to highlight.
She would do it, but with a highlighter.
Wait, let me color swatch.
Hold on. Can you tell?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know what I fucking hated?
What?
When the journalist was like, oh my gosh, this story's going to be my Black Dahlia. And then he got sad because he was like, oh, but she's Mexican, so it won't be good. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up, bitch. Oh my God. You're right. This story is very triggering.
Wait, let me see a bad word in Spanish.
Bitch. Why does it feel like Spanish bad words hit harder?
They do hit harder. Dude, it's funny because for me, a lot of Spanish bad words, I didn't know they were bad words because my mom just said them so casually. She wouldn't say him often, but she would say him so casually that I was like, oh, it's not a bad word. So when we would play Mario Kart, or Mario Party, I mean, she always hated Peach because we always put her as like a computer.
Oh my God.
She would call her Pinche Peach.
Pinche Peach.
And then I remember I was like hanging out with my friends and I was like, oh, that's Pinche Peach. And the mom was like, like,
what did you just say? No, that's funny. I always knew it was a bad word. Because both of my parents are just like, they just both say a lot of bad words, but they always like tell each other, "Ay, qué grosero eres." It's like, dude, you just said like 20 bad words too.
That's so funny.
Ay, don't talk like that in front of them. And it's like,
don't fucking talk like that, bitch. That's so funny.
Yeah, that was basically like.
So page 68.
Our pages are different.
Oh, okay. Page 68. I'm just kidding. It's chapter.
Just tell me what the paragraph starts with, and I'll look it up.
Okay. The next one who does die is Daisy Matthews.
Oh.
So she was the one who like low key hated Tanya because it was like me and Billy had something special.
Yeah, she was the one who had a thing with Billy and
gave him a
Billy,
hand job once. Yeah.
Billy, I think. Well, I don't know if it was just her delusional mind, but didn't she say that Billy did like her? But because he was married to Tanya, because he married Tanya, because didn't she like try to trap him?
Yes.
Into it. So Daisy is like spiteful. She's like, this bitch took my man. He and I could have had something special. Our connection is just way stronger in her delusional mind. And yeah, like that's just the kind of friend that Daisy is.
So Daisy, she, like we said, already doesn't like Tanya. And she keeps thinking to herself, like, well, it was Tanya who wanted to teach that girl a lesson. It wasn't me.
I'm such a good person.
And she keeps having visions of the woman in the tree, which is Milagros. And Daisy's like, you know what? I need to go, like, tell the police. I need to go give Tanya up.
But she like starts seeing like a roach, no?
Yes. So I did want to mention that I think she prays at this point. She's God. Basically like,
dear God, I didn't mean to participate. It just kind of happened.
Yeah. And she does see a roach, and I don't remember how she dies.
Let me see. Doesn't she start like choking?
Oh, she chokes on the roach.
Oh, yeah. She's choking on it.
Oh, that's disgusting.
And then the people who are there are like, do something, like help her. But they can't help her because this is beyond their control.
Yeah. So then it's after this point where Janice and Tanya finally decide that they do have to learn this woman's name, and it's Milagros. So they're
reluctantly
like, okay, she's obviously doing something. We're each going down. And it's Janice who's like, you know what? I'm going to go. She's the one who's like, I'm going to go tell the police right now. And then when she starts noticing that Milagros is like haunting her, she mentions like, but I'm going to go. No, I swear. Milagros, baby.
Milagros
Santos. I swear that I would have gone even if you didn't haunt me.
Even if you didn't take my friends down one by one, I promise you, babe,
like
I was gonna go.
I was gonna go on Tuesday, but you know, my nail appointment was that day, and I can't cancel my nail appointment. You know how hard those are to get?
I'm gonna have to wait a month. Look at these nails.
So when then she dies because she feels the bite of a snake.
Yes. Okay. A snake bite. How amazing is that? It's like different kind of species. Love that.
Hate that shit though.
Oh.
And so Tanya was the only one left, and the sentence after that, like when it said she was the only one left, says her guilt had become a coiled viper inside her belly, continually nipping at her day and night. For some reason, I thought that meant that she repented what she did, but she was more so like, but I'm 20. I need to live my sexy, single-free life with Billy. Yeah. I'm not single, but you know, I want to. But
my single, sexy 20s.
Yeah, but she was like, but this bitch trying to kill me, and honestly, she deserved it.
Doesn't she try to run away with Billy? Like, she's just like, okay, Billy babe, we gotta run away from here, live far away where Milagros won't reach us.
Well, it's Billy who says it because Billy's like, you know what? All your bitches are dead
All your
anyway.
bitches.
So, like, let's just leave. Like, you did something and we got to go. And I'm the man in the family. So I'm going to put my foot down and say we're going to go. And she's like kind of down.
Yeah.
So they start driving and a bug hits the windshield and he like, you know, turns on the windshield wipers. And then it's 2 bugs. And then it's 3 bugs.
So
and
the
it's a
bugs
lot.
are fucking multiplying. And then they get into a wreck, no?
Well, I think he sticks his head out the window in order to clean it. And then another car passes, right? And like, whoop.
Like Hereditary.
Yeah, like Hereditary, and his head goes flying off.
Love that for him.
And they're in a car crash and he instantly dies, but she's alive.
I hate that he died right away.
Really?
I wanted him to suffer as long as Tanya did. Like, I want at least like a little bit longer. Like, his head just popped off.
I wish, because all of their deaths are described to be slow and painful. But honestly, it's like fucking messed up to say. I felt like it could have been more.
What do you
Like,
mean?
I felt like it could have been more like, I wish we had known a little bit about each character and their death would have hurt more. Like, the only one that felt like it was painful was the fact that Janice was trying really hard to get pregnant and she finally was, and then she died.
Yeah. That was the only one. But I feel like these characters just didn't have redeeming qualities.
No, none of them did.
And I think it's okay to not give them redeeming qualities.
So Tanya basically wakes up in a hospital bed and she's paralyzed from like the neck down. She can't speak and she can only see, and her other senses work, but she's at that bed just with so much anger that she's paralyzed, and she's 20 and this is how she has to live the rest of her life. So then she's in this hospital for a while, I think until she's 40. She used to have family visit her like her mom, but her mom ends up dying. And at 40, her money runs out. So they send her to like this free healthcare place, which they don't take care of her.
Yeah. She's very much alone at this point in her life.
And that's where she is, where Preacher Rich gives her like prayers. That's kind of like the end of the story so far for them. Ding. Oh my gosh, wait. So I want to pause at that story. Just know that Tanya's fucking alive. She's 80 in current time. So remember, Belinda and Hector in current time are going to go visit Concepcion, which is Milagros' twin sister in Mexico, to kind of get the full scoop. And they end up meeting someone there named Benny. I don't even fucking remember what he does.
I don't even remember Benny.
Benny?
Benny from the block?
Benny and the Jets? Okay. So
Wait, you literally just said you don't remember anything about Benny.
The only thing I know is that he's Hector's partner. Like, they meet and Hector's like, wait a minute. Yeah. He like gets super into this guy.
Espera un minuto.
I'm not gonna sing. This isn't a singing. Did you see my face? I was close.
You were like, never mind.
So they meet someone named Benny who knows Concepcion, and Concepcion is his aunt, so he's the nephew, I believe. I don't remember. I can't think of anything right now. You ask me a math question, I won't know the answer, and you know I fucking know my math.
She fucks with math.
Tell me one.
2 times 520.
What the fuck? Okay, 520, like the decimal or the number?
The whole number. Why would I give you decimal?
That's so hard. 1040. A 2?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, let me give you a hard one.
Okay.
38 times 7.
So basically, Benny.
What happened to you being a math expert?
Times 7? I'd rather just disappear from this existence. Who knows there's 7s? Nothing comes in 7s.
Comment down below.
Comment down below if you think of 7 multiples. Okay, so the products of 7. Sorry, I don't know why I had to define that. So.
Oh my God.
So they meet Benny, who takes him to Concepcion, and she ain't all there. Like, Hector and I thought Hector and Belinda were going to be starstruck, and it's just an old-ass lady.
Yeah.
It's like on her last days. And they're like,
Oh, hey, girl.
not what I expected. But she basically in Spanish says that
I know.
Belinda is so full of life, and you.
No, doesn't Concepcion just say the words, I know? Like, I know what happened.
Dude, that hurts.
That hurt me too. Because they were going to tell her, like, what ended up happening to her sister Milagros, but she always knew.
Lo sé. Dude, fuck that.
Fuck that.
That's the end of a novela. They go see the old lady. Lo sé. Hey,
Roll
Vicente
credits.
Fernandez. Vicente Fernandez. Hello, Vicente.
Fernandez?
Is that his last name?
Yeah. Hello?
Oh, you're right. Why does that sound wrong? Estos celos. That would be the song that plays. Thank you. Oh, no, that's not a good one.
Un secreto de amor secreto.
Sigo siendo el reina de las chicharras.
Oh my god. Okay, hold on.
Thank you. I know that Concepcion knew that she had died, or that Milagros had died, because Milagros basically came to her and was like, hey, I was killed by this bitch named Tanya. Fuck her.
Fuck Tanya.
Concepcion was like, yeah, fuck her. Like, she basically said that she's dead, but because of the goddess of death.
And because of Milagros' hate.
Vengeance that she wanted.
Hate and vengeance. And just will to keep going past her death.
That she would basically, or she basically asked to sign a deal with the Queen of Dead, which is, I know how to say this.
I can't.
Mitecachicuatl?
I think so.
Yeah. She basically signed a deal with, she's the woman without skin.
Yeah.
Who is going to help her kill these people. But the only thing is that in order to stay alive or in the land of the living, she has to continue to feed off of people and kill people.
Yeah.
So she is going to feed off of all of these people that killed her and kind of go from there. But Concepcion reveals that she's getting hungry again.
Yeah.
Like that she needs to eat again. And then she looks at Belinda and it's like, oh, lonely ass bitch. Little ass lonely ass spaghetti ass bitch. No sabe cómo lavar su ropa ass bitch.
No, it's
Ni sabe cómo hacer tortillas ass bitch.
No sabe cómo lavar sus calzones as bitch.
I know.
Damn, there's more.
There's a lot. I'm trying to reach into my
trauma.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get into my trauma.
To my safe right now. But both of us just like 10 minutes like. But she tells Belinda this and Belinda's like, oh, fuck. But it's weird because Belinda.
Did you ever listen to Belinda?
No, sing it.
I don't actually remember. Vivir y ser como yo quiero.
Dude, keep going.
Belinda used to be in telenovelas when she was little.
You need to show me a picture. I probably know.
Okay. Keep going.
Okay. But it's weird because that's such an ominous thing to tell someone because she didn't even know who Concepcion was. But Belinda also, for some reason, tells herself that, oh, I know who that is. Tells herself that even though I didn't know Milagros, I love her and I would do anything for her. Mm-hmm. So, you know, she wants to eat my soul. Go for it, bitch.
Girl, it's yours.
Girl.
Much.
I know. I don't know where you get souls from. So
she's like showing her ear, just like, go, girl.
Go, girl.
Take it. You need my shoulder, too? Here you go.
So they figure that out, and then they're like, chill. Let's go ahead and go back to Texas and tell fucking Preacher Rich. So they go back to Texas, but during that time, Tanya, who is 80 and living in that really shitty home.
80 years young.
80 years fucking... Oh, actually young, because she does say it's a curse that she's lived this long. Mm-hmm. Like, she's surprised that she has. She gets no visitors. She's by herself. She fucking hates it. Mm-hmm. And she even thinks to herself, like, yeah, that preacher comes every day. I don't repent the shit I did.
Yeah, so she doesn't
feel bad at all.
She doesn't give a fuck. Which is weird because wouldn't you think that not doing anything, not being able to move, like just being alone with your thoughts, don't you think that you would regret literally anything that you did, like any little thing that you could think maybe this is the reason why I'm here.
But some people don't change, because remember the story of Emmett Till and the person who hurt him, who lied for such a long time, and then
that fucking bitch.
I think it was like 10 years ago when she revealed like, oh yeah, I lied, I did actually just kill him.
I don't understand people, honestly, but yeah, that pissed me off.
Some people are just like that. And it took her that long to repent it. So I'm not surprised that there are people out there who wouldn't repent it.
Who just don't care.
Yep. So Tanya is basically there, and she thinks to herself, like, I've only ever seen a cicada once, you know? But then all of a sudden she hears sounds.
Yeah.
And she's paralyzed to the point where she can't even turn to look at the sounds.
Yeah.
But she is looking at a mirror where she sees Milagros. And Milagros was like, hey, bitch.
Hey, girl. Bet you thought you seen the last of me.
Yeah. You know how much time you have to live? 5 minutos. Yeah. Like, yeah. So, yeah. See. She basically, like, goes up to her and, like, sucks the soul out of her body.
Yeah. Like a buena popote.
Yeah, I know. Fucking funny. Fucking down it and then eat a boo-boo-loo-boo. Dude, I should have gotten that. I told you sad. To. No, but I think out of all of them, like back then, my favorite Mexican candy was fucking payasitos.
Oh, my mom loves those. You and my mom are...
It was that and mazapanes and duvalins.
Oh my god, duvalins? Oh my fucking...
How'd you feel about squinkles? Like, were you a fan? Because I don't think I ever was. Ones? It's the string ones that have chile and you
oh my god, I fucking love those.
Really? I wasn't a fan.
People put them in ramen.
Really? Oh my god, I have to try that.
Dude, I fucking love those.
We should have done that. This is the episode. If Aiden Thomas ever releases another book, that's when we eat squinkles. Right? Was that his book?
Yeah,
okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'll see.
Girl, I'm always ready to eat those, though.
Okay.
I love those.
Okay, good to
How
know.
did you feel about the paletas, the sandia ones with the Lucas?
Chile?
Like Lucas?
Yes, the Lucas that was on top. Oh,
fuck, I love
it. Was those and the ones, I think they were corn shaped.
Oh my god, I love the corn one. It's so good.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. I'm sorry. This is just like, how many things did we do in our past?
Hold on. Have you ever given someone who isn't Mexican candy and they had like a bad reaction to it? Like reaction like they didn't like it?
Yes. And it was specifically that coco candy. You know, the ones that's the Mexican flag colors?
Yeah, I don't like that one.
I fucking
love
coco.
I don't like coconut.
Oh my gosh. So I gave my friend that, and it was funny because I was like, oh, fuck yeah, look at, there's extras, like extra candy. And it was in my house. It was over here. And they were like, oh yeah, I'll take some candy. And I gave it to them, and I was fucking like devouring this, not even swallowing, not even chewing, just down the hatch. Give me another one. I'm just going to stay open. So I was fucking eating these, and my friend was like, this tastes like medicine. Like, she did not like it at all. That hurt my feelings.
I've given someone like one of those paletas, the sandia ones with Lucas on it, and they literally were just like, "What the fuck is this?" It's
so good though. Ugh.
Whatever.
Did you like the squeezy Lucas?
Yeah.
Oh no, that one called that was called the
pelon.
Yeah, pelons.
Oh, I love those. But they did have a Lucas one that was like liquid.
Yes, you're right. Oh
that
my
was
God.
Also good.
Thank you. So let's talk about this dead bitch.
Thank you for coming to our Mexican candy talk.
So
finally, Tanya sees Milagros in the little mirror.
Milagros wouldn't have killed her because she even says like, if it weren't for the fact that I'm hungry as fuck, I would have kept you alive for as long as you could have lived. But a bitch gotta eat.
It's kind of crazy that she stayed that way for like 40 years.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Those 40 probably felt like
long.
A century.
And with the fear of having to worry about cicadas coming. Like, that's so fucking insane. But fucking Milagros comes out here with the chamoy and the tajin, eats this bitch up. So Tanya, dead. Fucking Preacher Rich comes like, ooh, about to read fucking Mateo 3:16. And Tanya's dead.
Tanya's gone.
So
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
But
to a bitch. So I fucking did not care when Tanya died. I wish it would have been more satisfying.
Don't you hate when that happens though? Like when the deaths aren't satisfying enough?
I don't think any of them were.
No, they weren't.
Gosh, I don't know. I wanted some Final Destination shit. That's what I was hoping for, but whatever.
I wanted some saw traps.
So it's funny because when Preacher Rich sees Belinda and Hector back from Mexico, he's like, by the way, just to let you guys know, Tanya did die. And Belinda's like, okay, not sorry for her though. Like they're just kind of like, thanks for the good news. You want some coffee? Like what's going on? I was like, no, I just wanted you to know that she is dead. And like, it was a horrible death because I think she was like blue in the face and her heart was pierced out. But you know, probably had like, I don't know, like heartburn or something.
She was fine.
I don't know. She's good though.
She's fine.
But it's because Milagros is hungry and they both understand it. So, okay. This part of the story, and I will admit to you, I was super into this story a lot. I loved it so much. But then when it got to this story, didn't it feel like the ending kind of like...
took me out?
Yeah, because it was long.
It was long, yeah.
Because it was like the end, but there's still like 60 more pages. Happily ever after.
But there's still 50 more.
Belinda becomes a surrogate for Hector and Benny.
Oh, yeah.
But then she meets someone named Ari. And
she thinks it's his.
She gets pregnant twice. Two little Milagros in here, dude.
Oh, my God. And then one baby is bigger than the other.
Yeah, because one of them she was pregnant before, so she... Fucking poor ass baby.
But does that actually...
That can happen.
That happens?
I think so.
For one to be, like, significantly bigger?
No, because she was pregnant already. That baby was already forming. And then the sperm that was donated and put in her.
But it wasn't, like, that much bigger then?
No.
Just,
so
like,
it was
2 weeks, maybe.
It was bigger. No, I think the first one that was in there was Hector's.
Yeah.
And then the one that she naturally got in her was Ari's. Even though they were both at different times, she still had to give birth to both of them at the same time. So her baby was born premature. But it was fine. They were both healthy. She made it. But it was weird because like all of this was happening. And right around the time when she was about to give birth, she was in her room and she saw a cicada shell. And in the cicada shell, there was a red string. And she was like, ooh, my little 3 p.m. snack. Fucking eats this shit.
Yeah. No, didn't she eat it before she got pregnant?
I think so.
Yeah, right?
I think she was already pregnant when she ate it, but she didn't know yet. But it was weird to me because, like, isn't the red string in Hispanic culture, like, if someone is looking at you?
Yeah.
Why was that in there?
Like something for el ojo.
El ojo.
I don't know. I didn't really understand that part, to be honest.
Yeah, I didn't either. But she does admit it to Hector, like, I did eat a cicada shell.
And I'm so
and it's
sorry
like,
about it.
Shh, queen. I get it.
What shell?
I've been eating cicada shells since we went on the trip. It's like the pill pack, you know, the one with the week. And he opens it, it's a bunch of cicada shells. But she basically, like, after she gives birth, writes a letter to both Ari and Hector and is like, you know what? It's my time to go. And Milagros takes her. And
eats up.
Eats her up, bitch. It was so weird because I don't really understand how it ended. She basically hears, wait.
Ven conmigo, baby. Oh my God.
I'm trying to think of like a hype song, and the only song that came to my mind was the Pásame la botella. Na, 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 na.
That's literally what she sang there, and it was like, all right.
I know.
Delicious.
How do you like eating Belinda? Con sal y limón y chile. Con sal. It's like, oh, hell yeah, queen. But she hears them. But she hears, we can go now. I left the stone next to the note for Jacob. My body slumped in the hospital bed, breast still leaking milk from my bloody open chest. My time as a vessel was over, and it was time for me to become a storyteller. Without skin, I will fly.
That's how it ends. Right?
Yeah. Does that mean she also became a goddess of death? Because
No.
Milagros never approached her. It was the Queen of Bones, Queen of Death, that approached her.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
I don't get it. And then the epilogue threw me off.
Wait, what was the epilogue? I don't remember.
The
I read it, but I don't remember.
Was basically people who were trying to cross the border being stopped by ICE. And when they were being stopped by ICE, they were like, "Oh my God, we need help! Reina de las chicharras, chicharras, chicharras." I'm not gonna say it.
There's mirrors here, people.
But then they get protected, and I'm pretty sure it's Belinda who's protecting them. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's Milagros.
Probably not Milagros.
But then, yeah, they feel warm inside, and they're thinking, now there's hope. The end.
The end.
Pásame la botella. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me think of a romance song. I can't think of one. I can't think of one.
Como la flor.
Como la flor con tanto amor.
Tanto amor.
Triste. Tú, la reina de chicharra. So,
what were your overall thoughts?
I loved this story going into it. There was a lot. And I constantly had to stop because I was like, I need to reread these 10 pages. I feel like I did not get what just happened.
Yeah.
So I had to do that constantly. But then when I got towards the end, I was like, it's already over. Why is there still 60 pages left? Mm-hmm. And I didn't really care for Belinda's story, like her surrogate story, her rekindling her relationship with her son, Jacob. Like, I didn't care for that shit. Mm. And I didn't understand the whole Jacob side story at the end, like the biblical Jacob story.
I didn't get that either.
So I don't know. It kind of lost me. I wish it really, like, honestly, this story could have existed without Belinda. It could have just been Milagros. You know?
I feel like it would have been missing a little zest, though. A little bit of sazon.
Don't make me get my sazonador, dude. Oh my God.
You know I have it.
But I get why they did it this way, but I don't think the execution of the ending was that great. Mm-hmm. I really wish that Tanya's end would have been a little more satisfying. Mm-hmm. But I do really, really like Milagros. Like, I do really like her. I kind of wish we would have seen her soul talk after death.
Yeah.
Because we really only saw her accept the devil and accept the goddess of death, but never really why. Like, she didn't say anything. Mm-hmm. So I really wish there would have been something there just for us to know a little bit more about why she really wanted vengeance. Mm-hmm. But
well, I mean, the death was very brutal.
It was really brutal. I don't know. I wanted more. I think overall, though, I did really like reading it. Would never read it again. And honestly, I don't know if I would recommend it.
See more.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm drunk. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna shut up now.
I think I would give this probably like a 3 out of 5. 3.25 out of 5.
Okay. Wow. I'm shocked.
Have you tried 3? Oh my God.
I was trying to catch up to you because that one has more.
Yeah, it does.
Anyway, my overall thoughts of this story is I agree with you, like, completely. I feel like at some parts I was a little lost in the story. I didn't love that there was 3 different timelines. I felt like it just felt so confusing, especially because I was listening to the audiobook, and as like during the audiobook I was like, wait, what's happening right now?
wait, hold on.
Where are we at right now? I kind of agree with you. I wish that it would have just been more focused on Milagros' story. I think Belinda was an interesting character, though, but I didn't really love like the surrogacy story or the surrogacy part of it either. But overall, I feel like this story did kind of like spook me. Like, like compared to like the other ones, I feel like this one did spook me. Like on the spookometer, I feel like it would be like a 3.
I'm gonna say a 2.
Really? Because I feel like some of the part I don't like bugs. That's why I fucking hate bugs. Like on some parts, I was like, damn, this is disgusting.
Dude, I don't know if I told you. You know how I hate bugs.
Yeah, I remember.
I
had to kill cockroaches for her.
Well, I had a cricket problem at work, and they basically told me that they called like pest control, but they weren't going to do anything about it for 2 weeks. So I just had to live like that. Well, I was today years old when I figured out that crickets can make cricket nests. And I was over here like,
wait, what?
So I was like over here like, oh, I need to grab a book that I left in this like cupboard, whatever. And all of the people I'm working with are all sitting in the front, and I go to the back, I open the cupboard, hundreds of crickets. Just hundreds, not making any sounds, just a little,
That's
you know?
disgusting.
And I just look at it and I'm like, clothes, duct tape. Oh my God.
That's disgusting.
And after that, I just became so desensitized to crickets because they would hop all around my area of work. That one would hop while I was like, okay, guys, today we're going to be okay.
And then you just
grab I would
it.
just catch it and then open the door and throw it out the door.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's disgusting.
So, I think I can take Milagros in a fight. That being said.
The mirror is right there.
Don't say
Can
that.
you call her that?
Queen?
Call her.
Queen.
Queen, wait, stop. Miracles.
Dude, we didn't talk about, overall, what's your rating?
Okay, so my rating, because I didn't love the parts outside of Milagros's main story, and I also agree with Cheli that the revenge portion I felt like could have been a little bit stronger.
Yep.
I did really like the story though. I don't know if I would recommend it either, honestly. I think I need to sit with it a little bit longer. I feel like I would give it anywhere between a 3.5 to a 3.75. Like just somewhere around there. I'm not sure yet.
Valid.
But I did like it. I just feel like it could have been a little bit stronger.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Because we didn't bring it up at all. Was Milagros kind of... Was she got?
Was she gay?
Because Mariposa.
I think she was.
Right? She had like a little thing, and then
Yeah.
there was a guy who was like, you have to sleep
Yeah.
with me or else I'm going to tell everyone.
Yeah, she was.
So then, Mariposa traicionera.
So the rating goes up. I just kidding.
I know. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you, everyone. I'm not drunk, but I'm like getting drunk off of just sitting next to you.
Wait, what? Which
I
say?
feel your energy. You're just like, okay, guys. Eyes wide open. Why were they open?
I'm not. Why were they open? Bruno Mars. Where's Bruno Mars?
not in this Latino story.
Oh, sorry. We'll talk about it another time.
Okay. Thank you so much for anyone who's listening to us in audio form, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or anywhere you get your podcasts on. Thank you so much. If you can leave a rating of 5 stars and a review of maybe recommending another book to us, because we are already all packed for our spooky season and we miss romance.
Yeah, so let it be like romance, fantasy.
I'm feeling more fantasy.
Yeah.
I miss fantasy. So please. Iron Flame's coming out soon. Just letting you know. So,
oh my God, I'm shocked.
So is volume 5 of Heartstopper. Just saying.
I can't wait.
But thank you so much. If you have a little bit of extra money, there's one way you can support us more. What can they do?
So we did make a Patreon, and really right now it just serves as a way for you guys to let us know that you really appreciate what we do here on the podcast. You can find us on patreon.com/bookfix. No pressure, but it would be amazing. Also, just sharing our videos, giving us 5 stars, letting people know what we do would be
and what we stand for.
Big help.
And also, if you are watching us on YouTube, thank you so much. If you can like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because we post every Tuesdays and Thursdays. Thank you. So we are going to go ahead and read a positive and negative review of
You find negative.
Queen of Cicadas. Okay, I will find a negative one. I also want to find an unhinged one. Those are so funny.
Okay, so mine is written by Trinidad. Comes from Goodreads. They gave it 5 out of 5. They wrote, I absolutely loved this story, which is why midway through the book, I rewound back to the beginning to start over. I was honestly hitting rewind the whole fucking book because the narrator was so bad. Huh?
Oh, so do you not like it?
Wait.
Or part was like so bad.
Like
They were
bad.
so bad.
Like, wait, you're bad. Wait, what? Huh? Wait, and then you didn't read another one. Okay.
You like suck it out.
You did not hear that. Okay. This guy.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Oh, I don't really like this one actually. Sorry.
Okay.
Do you want to read your negative one?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So here's my negative one from Kate Victoria. Women So Great, they named her twice. 1 out of 5. This book was kind of frustrating to read. Every page I had to stop and look up references and words that I didn't know the meaning to. Honestly, like, it's bilingual. Learn Spanish. That's fine, but the random info dumping or full-on alternate language with no context would often take away from the actual story. Hate that shit. Just learn Spanish. Well, I kind of get it. I get it. Things started going all over the place towards the middle and end. I felt more bored than scared or thrilled while reading. The characters were meh. Loved the idea of a Latin horror revenge story, but the execution just wasn't there.
Oh, well, mine says the complete opposite. Mine is written by Jennifer. They give it 5 out of 5. They said, this is the revenge novel you've been waiting for. Tired of seeing those who have it all take advantage of others? Well, you're going to love hanging out with La Reina de las Chicharras because she's using the smallest of them all, insects, to make murderers pay. This folk horror slasher is a fresh twist on a vengeful ghost story.
Okay. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Okay, now we gotta practice our.
Okay,
tongue twister?
Let's go the longest one. Ready?
Dude, I can't look
2,
literally.
3.
That's good. That's good. Do you know the tongue twister?
What is it?
It's okay.
I'm not good at tongue twisters,
Gonna
even
summon my mom.
in
Okay.
English.
It's R con R cigarro, R con R barril, rápido ruedan los carros ligero de ferrocarril.
R con R cigarro.
R con R barril.
R con R barril.
Rápido ruedan los carros.
Rápido ruedan los carros.
Los carros ligero de ferrocarril.
Ajá. Los carros
Ligeros.
ligeros
Yeah. De ferrocarril.
de ferrocarril. Okay, that one. Okay, now say it 10 times fast. Go.
R.
R.
R. R. R. That's all I can do.
That's it. Oh.
Can you imagine if, like, you know, they needed like a sound effect person? It's like, can you make it like a kitten purr? And I'm just like, why'd your cat sound like that?
That's more like a bug, no?
Cat sounds hurt.
She is hurt. Please get her help.
Suddenly, Seymour.
Suddenly,
Please end this. Please end this.
No, this is getting good.
Okay.
I feel like finally this episode's getting good.
Okay, let's start it then.